Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be learning how to do these fun Dollar Tree wine glasses today using Decoart enamels. And we're going to be painting little bumblebees on the bottoms too. So let's get started. We're going to begin by painting the bottoms, but first I want to tell you that I washed them in hot soapy water, and then I also came in a second time and washed them with some rubbing alcohol and then dried them with some paper towel. So I'm going to use an old brush that's kind of splayed out, and it's nice and soft because I find that this holds a little bit more paint, and the fact that it's already old and worn, I don't have to worry about it. And I really load it really well. And so then what I'm going to do is hold my brush back on an angle so that I can get as little strokes as possible. But I will tell you that it will take approximately 3 coats to get this color on. The lighter the color, the less coats you need. But it's just the nature of painting on glass that you're going to, if you want this, if you wanted to have the strokes show through, you could just do one application. But I want to have a little bit more opaque application, so I do it one way, and then I come in and I try to stroke the opposite way with a little bit more paint. But I try to eliminate as many streaks as possible, and then we'll just let this dry once I get it to a stopping point. And I think that's looking pretty good. So I will show you then. Now I'm going to have all of my bottoms just a little bit different. So I've got this one now, and this one has 3 coats of paint on it. So now this should be dry, and so I can set that down. That's another reason to start with the bottom, and I just love the way that the color comes up. So then what we're going to do is we're going to work up here, and we're going to stroke in some leaves. Now you can see the bottom on here is just a little bit different color than the other one. And so what I'm doing is I'm going from green to light blue to turquoise blue and to dark blue, only because those are the colors in my house. What you can do is if you want pinks or orange or yellows, you can use any of those colors. So this color right now is Indian turquoise. You can use any colors you want, but for the green, I mixed citron green with Indian turquoise together, and I'm using the Americana gloss enamels. I'm going to be using my creative blending brushes because they have this nice little dome shape to them. And so what I'm going to do is just first bring in the leaves. I think I need a little bit more paint there. There we go. And so what I want to do is just touch down and pull out towards me. And I'm wearing gloves not because there's any toxicity in the paint, but because I don't want to get my hand oils on them. These leaves are already dry on here, and I'm going to come in and do the flowers now. Now, when I was doing the leaves, I used a number 2 from my creative blending set. Now I'm going to go into the bigger one, the number 6. And we're going to come in and just create some flowers using white. And now I'm going to begin pulling the flowers. And so what I want to do is simply stroke them in and pull towards the center. So you can see we have a cute little flower there. It was very easily pulled. And I'm going to continue in doing that all the way around. So as the flowers are drying, I'm going to come back and I'm going to work down here right along the stem, where the stem and the top meet. I want to put in some dots. And so I've got my little number 0 blender out, and I'm going to start first with the green color. And again, you can use whatever color you want. But all I do is load, and what I try to do is reload each time, and then you just simply press down and release. And I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible. And this is much easier than doing a stripe on the glasses, because as you're going around, it's very hard to keep your hand level and pull a nice straight stripe. And I'm just trying to add some of the colors within my overall design. And I can see that these are just a little bit off, so I'm going to just bring that up again. And then it looks nice and level. Then I'm going to bring in my Indian turquoise. Oh, this color was desert turquoise. Now I'm in my Indian turquoise. You could use white, you could use whatever colors are in your palette. And again, it's just to bring out some of the colors and to tie all the colors of the bottoms of the glasses together. And then finally, I'm going to use the True Blue. And I'm tipping it just a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some desert turquoise little cluster flowers. And again, I'm just using the back end of this number 0, and I'm making multiple dots all together so that it forms these little cluster flowers. Super easy to do. What's important is as they come out that they make a little point. They're like a triangle. And so sometimes I'll add 2, sometimes I'll add 3. Maybe I'll just put a few right here. Okay, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around and I'll be back. So what we're going to do is put about 4 wings on here right now, and we'll just make them go any direction. So I'm just kind of pulling them like this, and then I'll make a little underneath one. So I'll just keep stroking until it looks like a little wing, and then I'll pull another one. And I'm hoping that these are going to look like little bumblebees when I'm done with them. Because then I want to put the text, "Time to get buzzed," on there. I think these have dried enough, and so what I'm going to do is take the back part of my number 0 blender and I'm going to just tap in. some of the true blue dots in the center. Again, tying all my colors together. Then I'm rinsing that off, and I've got some bright yellow. And I'm going to put the bright yellow right where the bottom half of the bumblebee's going to be. Now, to finish off our bumblebees, I want to use the black Decoart glass paint marker. And you first press it down and let all the paint come to the tip. So these have got to be dry. So what I'm going to do is just make a little oval right above where that is. And then just bring this down like this. Give them a little stinger. And then if you want to give them some little stripes, that will be good. I will outline his wings at this point. And it would help to steady your hand just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just give them little trails to connect them together. So you can see that there's a little butterfly or a little bumblebee trail there. And again, I'm going to make a little oval for his head, and then come in, make a U, make another U, give him a little stinger, and then just add a little stripes on him. Try to steady your hand as much as possible when you are doing this. So this is why if your wings were not perfect, you can always come in. And again, we're going to add a few trails coming on over here. They'll all be done the same way. Now, to your flowers, what we can do is come in and outline these too. This will give them a little bit of dimension. You can do the same thing with the leaves. And you might even want to go a little bit out on the outside of the leaf. And we can add just a few black dots. And you can see how the flower has a lot more dimension now just by doing that. Again, we'll just go around the outside. Try to steady your hand as much as possible. Go around the leaves. Add just a little bit more dimension in there. And I'm adding some dots, and I'm going to add them in triangular segments. Now, as we do the writing on the bottom, what I want to do is start with the word buzzed first. And so I'm going to have this angled. And it helps just to do little dots because you can control it so much better that way. Now you can put any lettering you want on, but I just thought Time to Get Buzzed would be cute. And then I have the buzz there, so to make sure I'm going to fit it in properly, I'm going to start with Get now, and I'll just do the T first, then the E, so essentially I'm doing everything backwards. And I'm trying to just make all the letters approximately the same size. So now I have a nice area for the bumblebee. Now all of the dots are dried, and so I wanted to show you how cute this turned out. And I really love what I put down on the bottom, Time to Get Buzzed. I'm sure all my friends will love when they come over and have wine now. And what I wanted to point out is what we're going to do is we're going to let this cure for 4 days. And then we're going to put them on a cookie sheet upside down in our oven and turn the oven on once they're in there at 325. We're going to bake them for about a half an hour, and then we're going to leave it turned off our oven and leave them in there until the oven cools. Then we'll take them out. So again, you can do these in any color that you want. I've made mine from blue to blue-green to green on the bottoms, but that's my color combination. And what's important is you just bring in the dots over here using all the colors that you've used on the bottoms, and that's what's unifying them. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you really enjoyed this video on how to create fun Dollar Tree wine glasses. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And then also give me a thumbs up so that I know that you're enjoying my videos. Until the next video, may painting always bring you joy.